I believe everyone saw Zorowski on the TV network today.
I had a conversation with US President Trump and Vice President J.D. Benz in a group of officers in the White House and even had a little quarrel. It is now March 1st, 2025.
From this conversation, we can see that Zelensky is so naive and ignorant.
Do you know why? First, Zelensky used his usual routine to intimidate Trump. What did he say? He said, "If you don't feel the existence of the ocean now, you will feel the meaning of this sentence in the future. That is to say, you have a very beautiful ocean now, but if you don't know how to cherish the real world war in the future, you will miss the days when there were beautiful beaches in the past." Trump will reply to him now, "You are not qualified, you don't have any position to comment on our feelings, and you are not qualified to emphasize them in particular." The wheel driver used his usual routine to intimidate the United States. In the past, he made a speech in the European Union and the United Nations invoice, and he also addressed these small NOs in Europe. They said, "If you don't help me or help me, you will be invaded by Russia like me in the future, and Russia will fight you." He has always revealed that this is the case. He has been constantly trying to drag everyone to this battlefield and drag everyone into the water, and everyone is not a fuel-efficient lamp. Everyone only knows that we can help you. Isn't that what it is? Everyone got the benefits. But what about Trump? He wants him to stop. So I tell you, don't believe it. The domestic media, these experts and scholars are talking nonsense there. They say Trump is a bully and a hooligan. I'll only say one thing. If Trump is the second bully is a hooligan, why does Trump want Ukraine's mining industry? Why do you know? Because if he signs a cooperation with Ukraine on the development of this rare earth, there will be countless workers in the United States engaged in mining development in Ukraine. Does such an economic linkage mean that there are many Americans in Ukraine and Russia will have scruples? This is Trump's diplomatic skill. Although I don't have an army in your Ukraine, I have the mining industry to cooperate with you. Therefore, I have outside workers in your Ukraine to relatively guarantee the security of your Ukrainian territory. But this clown in Ukraine has no sense and he has no idea about the concept of foreign policy at all. It should be obvious that because he is not from a political background, and he doesn't know much about some basic foreign policy, so he doesn't understand what others mean. Trump means that through the cooperation between our two countries in mining epidemics, we will jointly develop rare earths, and I will have tens of thousands of mining workers. If security personnel come to work in Ukraine, Russia won't fight you, and it will provide you with a security guarantee of Ukraine. But the timing of responsibility, he can't understand Trump. He can only work for 4 years, and he has no obstacles, so he is vigorously reforming.
Musk is tasked with establishing Dodge, and he's constantly under tax scrutiny with the Russo-Ukrainian war's instigator soon to be revealed.
Soon, we will also check the US $350 billion in wafers. Where did half of the missing money go? Therefore, everyone in the Democratic Party is starting to be frightened. Don't you notice this atmosphere? Also, I want to tell you, if you watch the film carefully, Trump never said that Zelensky's polls were for. He said that his polls fell for, that is, after delivering a speech. He said this sentence when he picked up, "The video should be watched clearly." Besides, Trump is not a hooligan, not a villain at least. He dares to say that there are only two genders of men and women in the world. You famous people in Taiwan province call him a hooligan, call him a bully, and criticize him. Do you dare to say it? Do you dare tell the truth? For the sake of traffic, you don't hesitate to break your face and tell something. For the taste of the galaxy public, this is a very humiliating thing, especially for an expert and scholar.
So we need to understand who started the whole Russia-Ukraine war.
Because the responsible driver broke the civil passenger agreement in 2014, which clearly stated that Ukraine cannot join NATO, why can't it join NATO? Let me say it again. Because the marginal line between Russia and Ukraine is 1,500 kilometers long. If Ukraine joins NATO, These 20 or 30 NATO countries will set up thousands of military facilities, military bases, air bases, missile bases, and missile bases on the border between Ukraine and Russia. Base radar station, and then comprehensively monitor Moscow 24 hours a day, 365 days a day. It turns out that there is no slowdown zone between the two. Besides, you must know that the purpose of NATO's establishment was to deal with the Soviet Union and Russia, so NATO and Russia are basically two hostile parties. Originally, these NATO and Russia, there was also Ukraine as a buffer zone between them, but when Ukraine insisted on joining NATO. Of course, Putin doesn't allow it, because you threaten my whole country. Of course I want to beat you. Of course I want to set my buffer, which needs my 8.5 points. It's straightforward. Then why did this matter have to be provoked in the first place? Because of Biden's orders. Because behind the war is the economy.
European and EU countries are eager to donate weapons to Ukraine. They follow the unspoken rule: if you buy weapons from me, I'll return your commissions and kickbacks. I ration the buyer and the witness party because you, Ukraine, the European Union, and the United States are singing very well together, so the wars will continue. But Trump came here to end these wars. Because Trump only has 4 years to do it, he is making drastic reforms.
Ask this Musk's fighting team to start tea stalls and tea taxes. He is reducing redundant staff. He's doing the right thing.
So when we saw the group office back at the White House today,
this professional wheel driver said something, and you will feel that this person doesn't have any sense. As a president, he doesn't even understand the most basic foreign policy. People have hinted to him that if I want your mining industry, it will be mine. The United States will require tens of thousands of people to develop a mining industry in your Ukraine, and tens of thousands of Americans will be in your Ukraine. So what guarantee do you think you have? You keep telling me that you have to ensure that Russia won't hit me, and I have tens of thousands of people to carry you. Do you think Ukraine is engaged in mining? Will Russia still hit you?
So, you see a comedian turned.
Then he, who treats others as fools, has been defeated by far-left democracies such as the European Union and Europe. He is praised like a god, he has lost himself, but people all over the world can see clearly that he is so ignorant. His cause is so narrow, and he doesn't understand the essence of foreign policy at all. You don't understand, and you happen to be president, and you have the mentality of relying on others to fight wars. I want to tell you that the fact that you can never win by relying on others to fight wars is in front of you. Why do you rely on others to fight wars? Don't challenge others if you don't have the ability. When you slap a smelly fat man with a swollen face and challenge others, the result is that the country will be cut off, and the people who are entangled in the wall will be displaced and homeless. It's really an escape. If you bring the country into this state, you still have the face to be in the White House. The Oval Office rebels against Trump and Jedi Mans.